The Witcher game franchise. While opinions may be split, I really do think it is a worthy continuation of Sapkowski's books. After all, I can't play Gwent in the books now, can I?
Yearning to play a few rounds of Gwent. That ought to set me straight.
For everyone who might have stumbled upon this video, my name is Elena and welcome in the tower. While playing through the trilogy, I couldn't help but notice just how many references to Lord of the Rings one may find sprinkled here and there. I scouted both the games and the internet and I was able to write quite a list, 20 references to be exact, plus a couple honorable mentions. I really hope I've gathered them all, after all, I named the video in the manner I did. If you're having a bit of a deja vu, a while back I made and uploaded a video about Witcher 2 references, but decided to delete and make a more comprehensive version. Why make 3 videos of varying lengths when I can just make one chunky video? With no further ado, Reference 1, The Precious Ring. In Witcher 1, right at the beginning of Chapter 2 you may meet this shady character in Vizima, who asks for the return of a family ring in the quest Finders Keepers, a precious golden ring to be exact. Geralt finds the deal suspect to say the least.
What's the deal?
Keep it all, as long as you return the family ring to me.
Why is this ring so precious?
With that ring I'll come into my inheritance.
Now moving on to Witcher 2. Reference 2. Piece of Lembas. In order to get this special piece of dialogue, you may have to do a couple of things back to back. In Act 1 you have to give Iorveth his sword during the ambush in the Elven bath.
Give me my sword. Die!
Side with Iorveth afterwards rather than with Roach. Say to him, I'd resort to a trick when you talk to him just before the attack on Flotsam.
The harbor could still be dangerous.
What did you expect, a tea party?
Then finally when you meet him close to the gate, he will say,
This is the place.
We have to get past the gate.
Piece of Lembas.
What?
Referencing none other than the Waybread of the Elves. Reference 3. Balin and the Mines of Moria. Though they are not the Mines of Moria, they are the Mines of Vergen. If you side with Iorveth in Act 2, you have the chance of exploring the mines beneath Vergen and figuring out what's going on down there. You will find several dead dwarfs throughout the mine, some of them holding some very interesting maps and letters. They detail Balin's expeditions in the mines and are a poignant reference to dwarfs delving too deep. Reference 4. A Balrog. Also in the mines of Vergen, right at the end of the mine in the deepest tunnel, there stands a creature named the Bulvor, which if you ask me looks quite similar to a Balrog. Reference 5. Minor NPCs. I was able to find 3 NPCs with names referencing Lord of the Rings, 2 in Vergen and 1 in Loch Muin. I'm talking about Radagast, Bombo and Undómiel, referring to none other than Arwen of course. Reference 6. Gandalf the Zerrikanian Mage. Right at the beginning of the Flotsam questline in the discussion between Dandelion, Geralt and Zoltan, this piece of dialogue pops up.
Let me guess. The suspects also include a Zerrikanian alchemist and a group of halflings.
Bold theory that, but the mob comes up with even better ones.
I genuinely thought it references the Hobbits and Gandalf. Reference 7. Philippa's comment. Probably the most known Easter egg from The Witcher 2 but the dead body of Altair from the prologue is Philippa's request for magical artifacts. Here, have a listen.
What else do you need to heal Saskia?
Thaumadur is a self-perpetuating substance. Any incursion into a cluster of poisoned cells causes an immediate chain reaction. Each tainted cell that is removed is replaced by 10 new tainted cells. To interrupt this reaction, I'll need an ungodly amount of the power. A water or air genie, or one of the 20 legendary rings of power would be best.
One to bring them all and in the darkness bind them.
Right. And then I'll have to run barefooted to the top of a volcano.
All right. Let's forget the rings.
Now where have I heard about 20 rings of power before? Reference 8. Sword of Coronel Gondor. Still in Act 2 on Iorveth's path, while trying to find the flag of the Dun Banner, Geralt will come across a spirit. You may either fight it or trick it. If you trick it, he says this.
The unicorn has returned.
He stands at Vergen's gates. With your help, he'll avenge the Dun Banner.
The standard lies in the sarcophagus. Take it. You will also find the sword of Colonel Gondor. Now it is yours.
Thank you.
Now moving on to Witcher 3. Reference 9. Zoltan and his axe. Before the Battle of Kaer Morhen, Geralt may visit some of his old friends and ask them to join the fight against the Wild Hunt. A funny callback to Gimli happens when you recruit Zoltan in Novigrad.
The Wild Hunt will attack soon afterwards. Could use you at our side.
You'll have me and my axe.
Reference 10. Smeagol. The most comprehensive Easter egg apart from Piece of Lembas from The Witcher 2 is the Golem reference found in the Blood and Wine DLC. The whole ordeal starts when you find a corpse close to the Trastamara estate that has a note mentioning a precious golden spoon. Later in the main quest line during Luck Age of Fog, Geralt can find another note and a spoon key inside the Trastamara estate, which will guide him to the pheasantry in Beauclair.
White's a true collector.
In the basement of the pheasantry one can find Smeagol's cooking book. The end of the treasure hunt leads to an elven ruin, which used to serve as a culinary laboratory. Reference 11, Bagginson. Hugo Myersdorf, owner of Honeyfield Medworks, will ask Geralt not to call him Bagginson if Geralt interacts with him long enough.
Don't dare call me Bagginson.
Reference 12, Smaug. Right at the start of the game in White Orchard during the Astonis questline, the dwarf Willis says something very interesting, referencing in my opinion Smaug.
I'm the only smith around, so I got to service their garrison. Bang dents out of plate, shoe horses, that sort of thing. Nilfgaardians don't pay me a bloody copper. Just give me supplies and orders. But humans can't fathom that. They think I'm getting rich off their misfortune. That I sleep on a pile of gold like a ploughing dragon.
Reference 13, the Stone Trolls. In an unmarked cave in Skellige on the coast between Arinbjorn and Kaer Muir, Geralt may find 3 trolls preparing a meal, an obvious callback to the 3 trolls in the troll shows found in The Hobbit.
Onion rot he must be.
Omen's scared. Plug bunghole with finger.
Omen no, supper no.
Reference 14, Gimli at Helm's Deep. In the Hearts of Stone DLC during the heist in the Open Sesame quest, if you recruit the dwarf Casimir Basi as an assistant in the heist, this cutscene plays, making a callback to a similar event involving a certain dwarf and tossing at Helm's Deep. Reference 15, Undómiel the Elven Mage. Ever wonder what happened to Undómiel the mage from Doc Muin's tavern? Well, wonder no more, she suffered a pretty gruesome fate. She got captured and killed. A sad fate for a character that is supposed to bear the name of the Evenstar. Reference 16, Geralt Gamgee. During the quest A Walk on the Waterfront in Novigrad, Ginte de la Virac, the fish-tech dealer, introduces Geralt as his gardener, which is quite similar to Samwise Gamgee introducing himself as Frodo's gardener.
Who's the fella followed you here? He's my gardener. I never go anywhere without him. He's good luck, you see. Just no funny stuff. Got it?
Reference 17, The Witcher Fellowship. You have no idea how long it took me to get footage of this reference. If Geralt walks off the edge of the map, he may say this.
A long trek requires a fellowship. Ought to cobble one together.
Reference 18, Thorin's Company. If Geralt wanders around Novigrad's fields long enough, he may stumble upon a company of 13 dwarfs, referencing Thorin's Company. I have looked out and about for so long, but most I could find was a company of 7. I'm sure they're somewhere around. Reference 19, Spies of Isengard. In the early game, after the audience with Emhyr, Emperor of Nilfgaard, Geralt may find a letter addressed to Yennefer from Fringilla Vigo. Fringilla writes, "Forgive me for not answering your earlier attempt to reach me via Megascope. I'm trying to limit my magic communication to the absolute minimum. One never knows who's listening." Which could be paraphrasing Gandalf's remark to Saruman in the Lord of the Rings film. Before we move to the last reference, I have 3 honourable mentions. The first one is the name of this quest from The Witcher 3, which might be a reference to a chapter from The Hobbit. Either that, or it simply references the popular idiom. Another mention is just how similar Ciri's portrait looks to Bilbo's portrait from An Unexpected Journey. The third is that the mountains near Kaer Morhen are called the Blue Mountains. As we know, there are some blue mountains in Tolkien's work too near Lindon. Reference 20, Caranthir. When you see a name like this pop up on screen, it's impossible not to remember it, mainly when it's Caranthir, third son of Fëanor. Both the Caranthir from Tolkien's work and The Witcher are elves. I'm not sure if the similarity was intentional, but I've included it anyway. And that's all I have for today. Be sure to follow me on Twitter for more updates. What do you think I should do next? Another reference video? Or maybe another essay? Tell me in the comments below. Until next time.